Thanks for joining us. You're with Chris at Car Cave in Aiken, South Carolina. Website's carcaveusa.com. Phone number is 803-262-4742. If I said that too quick, 803-262-4742. It's carcaveusa.com. We have here, it's a 92 Toyota Land Cruiser GCC Spec. They have kind of a special spec, the Gulf Corporation Council there, how they'll outfit their cars. What's neat about this one, has a 5-speed in it, part-time 4-wheel drive, has a refrigerator, it's kind of a little ice box on the center console, also no sunroof, so it's a slick roof, no roof rack, you have a rear tire carrier, you have a rear AC, you have all sorts of fun stuff, different hood ornament. It is a carbureted 1FZ, so you have tons of goodies on this thing. Sourced out of the Middle East, so unlike something that was over here up north, you're not worried about rust issues on it. It is the medium railed pearl color, and the interior, if I remember correctly, the color code FJ80 was for oak cloth. So it's kind of nice having these in cloth. You're not having to worry about, leather getting old and crunchy. I like the pattern on it. It's you can kind of see it in there, and we'll get there too. So we walk around, talk about the car. You got a rear pintle hitch on it. Like I said, the rear tire carrier. So a few different things. It's a totally different car to drive to than the automatic that we had here. So it has good power, goes down the road good. We did a slew of maintenance on it, over 10 grand worth of maintenance. And if you want some undercarriage pictures, feel free to reach out, contact us. I know we have a rear taillight coming for it. There's a little crack in it. It does have running boards. You have the rear tow hook there. And if you haven't seen one of these swing out, grab it here. Tire carrier swings out. I believe the handle. Now I'm gonna make myself look bad. There it is. So no rust or rot or anything, which is what you'll typically find on the ones that have been in winter weather all over the world. So everything's clean here. There's one recently that sold with 100,000 more miles on it. It went for $32,500, so our price point's right in the zone. We've imported several of these, the diesels and the manuals, the petrols, have the foreign Land Cruisers. And our great photographer left us a nice dealer tag back here when he went out. It did not get put away. Thank you, Mr. Klein. So carpet back here is in good shape. Someone put in some focal speakers. The seats, one thing about the GCC Spec, they don't have rear seat belts. So some of them will have the inward facing benches. That was just my magnet for my tag. Some will have the inward facing benches and some will have the forward facing. I haven't determined what the variation and difference is on a case by case basis. I've seen it both ways. I don't know if it's dependent on country. But these won't have seat belts back here. So just be cognizant of that if you are interested. It's a wild, wild west. Going through here, like I said, all the jams are clean. You have the side sliding windows. The Hurley Hummer LT tires. All the door cards are in good shape. Upholstery's in good shape. You can see this rear AC here. You have some controls. Because if you were in the middle of the desert, it would be hot. You're sweltering back there. You don't want to be dependent on the person up front. Turn on your air conditioning. So interior's in good shape. I know there's a tear, not tear, but looks like some wear in the carpet that's underneath there. This rubber mat was in there when we got it. It's not purpose for us to buy it just for that reason, but it was there when we got it. So like I said, all your jams, your wheel wells, it's a desert vehicle. Now being that we did go through and Kirk made sure to lube all the locks, we tested all the window switches. Like I said, we did over 10 grand worth of work. My list here, we did the front axle, so we went in the front knuckles, spark plug wires, clutch release bearing, fixed vacuum lines, washer bottle, ground PCV valve, wipers, clutch line, Filters, ignition tune-up, fuel filter, blood the brakes, spark plugs, oil filter, fuel filter. Let's see, went through and diagnosed the cigarette lighter, dome light switch, installed a new battery, lubed everything, tie rods, front knuckle, rebuild kit, wheel bearings, sway bar mount bushings, move and replace pads and rotors with front hub rebuild, bleed brake system, clean and brush brake shoes. But if you want to see all the maintenance, contact us. I read that pretty quick. We'll give you a sheet that you can see what we did to it. We have the cover here that was bothering me. We had one, not the other, so we have it coming. Roof's in good shape. And same with the seat here. We have the window switch panel, won't stay locked down. I'm gonna get the guys to correct that. See if we can find that color there. When you go shut the door, it'll pop back. So just want to point that out. I put on my notes for the guys to grab that already. Center console, you have the cooler box there. I've not had a chance to test it, but I'll report back. I always like getting my temp gun and testing those. Right now is not very good time of the year for anybody running the AC for tests. It's cold out. Jake just had to test a AC install for the weekend. So lucky him. But your side bolsters here, they're clean. You can see just a little bit there of a repair. But given it is now a 33-year-old automobile, it's in very good shape. 95,000 miles on it, which is 152,930 kilometers. You do have a tach. You have voltmeter, temp, oil pressure, fuel, and this does have a sub fuel tank, which you can see right there. And you have your compass and your other fuel tank up top. So you have an overhead console. Visors, like on all the 80s, they got a little thickness to them now, so they're a little puffy. You can see this one over here, but the headliner's all good. Dash does have one crack in here, but otherwise in good shape. Same with your A-pillars. The fire extinguisher was a GCC option, so that was required in their automobiles. You do have a choke down here, rear AC off and on, your standard control switch, which you'll see on the 80 series, digital clock, tilt steering wheel, wipers, blinkers, brights, power mirrors, power windows, power door locks. But with the sub fuel tank, slick roof, cooler box, it's a really cool rig. We've been satisfied with all the different ones. We'll open the gas tank door, and I know it wasn't on our ticket. Maybe we won't open the gas tank door today. I know they went through and reworked it and lubed everything, and I just pushed it back in. You heard a click on me. You see it moving. And it's not cooperating today, so we will fix the gas tank door. We have a failure on video. I know it was working. Kirk was in there, lubed everything, got it working, so we need to adjust the release on it just a little bit. And we went through and reworked the dual fuel tank. You can't see from here. There's actually a plunger that you pull in and out on the unit itself, so you can fill each fuel tank. There's not a separate fill anywhere, which is important to know. Now that's bothering me, because I know we drove it and put fuel in it. So that'll be something first thing in the morning for these guys. Kirk was working on it, so we can blame him. All right. Now I lost my train of thought. Got myself frazzled here. The sub fuel tank, look at the doors, the rockers. You have running boards. We have the two fuel tanks, so there's no rot anywhere on any of the rockers. We want to go over to windshields clean. You have your especially hood ornament there, which is nice and gold. Oh, I was going to grab the VIN tag over here. So that is the complete VIN number on it, or chassis number, whichever you prefer. You can see the carburetor sitting in here, the new battery, and the codes here. 3H4 is medium pearl, FJ40 on the trim code. You can see the transmission, the H151F, which is the manual transmission, the K2, what does that say? My eyes are getting old and deceiving me. 232, so I think that's 411 gears, and plant A11, so it was a Japanese manufactured vehicle. A lot of people prefer those in the Toyota groups. I don't know of any specific numbers I can give you to say that the ones out of Japan were higher quality than other facilities, but I do know they build a solid vehicle in Japan for Toyota, so that's what I can count on. Go in here, see chassis being clean, chassis number down there. Very nice, good desert truck. Just with no working fuel tank, huh? Hopefully whoever buys it doesn't let me live that down. If you made it that long, just you can feel free to mention that when you purchase it. I made it through your video that long. All right, so the rockers, running boards there. Door cards are all in good shape. Even your ashtrays. And I like the color, it's something different. The combo's good. These seats tilt forward here, so you can access back to your third row. And you have the little air plenum going up. So this doesn't have any of the areas that typically rust. Like I said, it came out of the desert. I've said it 92 million times, so I said it again for you. Haven't seen any signs of the vehicle got a complete repaint anywhere. I haven't eyeballed it enough and stared out long enough to see if I could tell if there's any areas that had been painted, but there's nothing that's glaringly obvious. There's no overspray on parts or components or anything when you go around it. So it all shows really nicely, you know, given it is, what I said, 33 years old. I didn't do math in my head. So cool truck. I do know we didn't get into doing the suspension because it does need shocks. We put shocks on it for you, but we were saving that because whoever buys it might want to do a lift kit, so be throwing money, labor away. So there's going to be an allowance for shocks. You want to apply that to a lift, we'll install the lift for you. You know, we'll charge to install the lift if we're doing the full lift kit, but whatever our price for our shocks that we're doing, we'll apply and give you credit over to doing the lift kit. So it's kind of like a carpet allowance for a house. I like doing it that way because each one of us are different about what we want. This would be a cool, really cool bone stock automobile too, just to drive as it sits. But good color combo, clean car. They're hard to find over there. I'm shopping all the time in the Middle East and they don't come up often. I mean, you see the ones on market here, and imagine it, you know, surviving the heat too. So there's pros and cons having your clear coat and everything else survive the heat. But yeah, if you have questions, it's carcaveusa.com. You need finance or anything else, reach out. We do have a variety of lenders we work with. You want to see more of the car, you want us to get up on the lift, like I said, we are totally open to do that. Just let me know. Call over here and we will make it happen. So appreciate watching. If you have questions, you made it this long, ask about your surprise. We give those away if you made it through the entire 14-minute diatribe. Thanks again. It is Car Cave USA.